In Shore Drive, imagine you're sitting at your desk staring at your current car insurance bill and thinking, there has to be something cheaper out there. Well, you're right, because today in this deep dive review of 2025, we're breaking down the top 10 cheapest car insurance companies in America. But not just listing names, we're going inside each company, what type of driver they're perfect for, what discounts they offer, what hidden drawbacks people don't mention, and how you can use each company's strengths to cut your premium dramatically this year. No fluff, just real talk about what actually saves money. Let's begin with a quick reality check. In 2025, car insurance prices across the U.S. have hit record highs. Repairs cost more, cars are loaded with expensive sensors, and inflation pushed premiums up by 20 to 30% in many states. But even in this expensive market, there are still insurers offering surprisingly affordable plans, especially if you know how to shop smart. And that's exactly what this video is for. Now let's break down the companies, slowly, clearly, and deeply, starting with the brands that consistently show up on lowest cost lists across the country. Auto Owners Insurance. This company is the quiet king of low-cost coverage in the Midwest and Southeast. They don't do flashy advertising like Geico or Progressive. Instead, they focus on strong agent-based service and incredibly competitive rates. Auto Owners is especially cheap for liability-only coverage, making it one of the best options for drivers who have older cars or don't need full coverage. Their claims service is solid, their customer satisfaction ratings are high, and they offer huge discounts like multi-policy, safe driver, good student, and even a green discount for paperless billing. The only downside, they're not available in every state. But if your state has auto owners, always get a quote. They beat national companies far more often than people realize. Nationwide. One of the biggest surprises of 2025 is that Nationwide has consistently offered the lowest full coverage premiums for good drivers. They've changed their pricing strategy and pushed big discounts for low mileage drivers, seniors, remote workers, and people who rarely use their car. Their telematics program, Smart Ride, gives massive savings if you drive safely, and Smart Miles, their pay-per-mile program, is one of the best in America for people who drive less than 8 to 10K miles a year. Nationwide isn't always the cheapest for young drivers or drivers with tickets, but for clean record drivers and people who like good digital tools plus strong customer support, Nationwide delivers excellent value. USAA. If you're active military, a veteran, or an eligible family member, USAA is almost always the cheapest, and often by a huge margin. They combine low base rates with powerful discounts, high customer service scores, and fast claims. USAA consistently ranks #1 in satisfaction and #1 in affordability for eligible members. They're also incredibly lenient with bundling and military-specific perks, like cheaper rates during deployment or suspended coverage if your vehicle is stored. The only drawback is availability. If you're not military connected, you cannot qualify. But if you are eligible, USAA should always be your first quote. Full stop. Geico. The giant of cheap car insurance. Geico stays one of the most affordable options nationwide because of their massive scale and aggressive discount system. They're often cheapest for minimum coverage drivers, college students, and drivers who want simple online management with very low hassle. Geico is particularly strong for safe drivers with solid credit. Their mobile app is one of the best in the industry. Fast claims, easy ID card access, instant coverage changes. The downside is that claim service can feel robotic, and their rates can jump if you add young drivers or have an accident. But for millions of Americans, Geico continues to be one of the lowest price providers in 2025. Erie Insurance, one of the most underrated insurance companies in America. You won't see flashy ads, but if you live in a state where Erie operates, you can often get some of the lowest rates in the country. Erie is especially cheap for young drivers, new families, and people who want full coverage but don't want to pay full coverage prices. Erie also offers rate lock, which freezes your premium, meaning it doesn't go up year after year unless you change cars or move. No other major insurer offers this. Service is personal, local, and consistently top-rated. The only negative, limited availability, mostly in the Midwest, Mid-Atlantic, and a few southern states. But if areas in your state, it can beat Geico, Progressive, and even USAA for some drivers. Progressive. This company is famous for giving competitive rates to drivers who don't have perfect records. If you have a speeding ticket, a minor accident, or slightly poor credit, Progressive might be cheaper than Geico, Nationwide, or State Farm. Their Snapshot program gives discounts for safe braking, gentle acceleration, and low mileage. Progressive is also excellent for drivers who like strong digital tools and instant, flexible quotes. They're not always the cheapest for good drivers, but for non-perfect drivers, they can offer the best value. Claims experience is decent, though sometimes a bit automated, but price-wise, they're still one of the key companies to compare in 2025. Travelers, a long-established company that rarely gets attention but often appears in low-cost insurance rankings. Travelers offers strong, stable pricing with fewer sudden premium spikes compared to other big insurers. They're particularly affordable for homeowners who want to bundle car plus home, families with multiple cars, and drivers with older vehicles who still want full coverage. Travelers also offers strong discounts for hybrid vehicles, safe vehicles, and good driving habits. Claim service is reliable but old school, not super app-based like Geico, but still, in terms of value per dollar, Travelers is one of the best in 2025 for stable, predictable billing. Mercury Insurance, a budget-friendly company that provides some of the lowest rates in states like California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona. Mercury is known for offering low base premiums but slightly limited digital tools. Their coverage is simple, practical, and very cheap for safe drivers and middle-aged drivers. Mercury's best strength is its pricing, often much lower than big national companies. However, claims reviews can be mixed and availability is limited. But if you're in a Mercury state, it's usually one of the cheapest options you can find. State Farm is one of the most reliable national brands with consistently competitive pricing across many states. State Farm has affordable rates, especially for young drivers, families, and people who bundle multiple cars. They offer excellent discounts, drive safe and save telematics, steer clear for students, good driver, good student, and multi-policy discounts. Claim service is strong because they have huge networks of local agents. State Farm isn't always the absolute cheapest, but because of its discounts and local support, many drivers can get surprisingly low rates, much lower than they expect. American Family Insurance, commonly known as AmFam, this company often sits slightly above the cheapest options on the list, but for certain drivers, it becomes extremely affordable. Families with teens, homeowners, safe drivers, and loyalty customers often get excellent deals. AmFam also has unique discounts like generational discounts if your parents also use them. They're strong in the Midwest and West and offer very good claim service compared to low-cost competitors. They're not nationwide, but where they operate, they can sometimes undercut major brands by a significant margin. And now the big lesson. Cheap car insurance isn't universal. The cheapest company for you depends on your age, zip code, driving history, credit score, mileage, and the type of car you drive. So instead of guessing which company will be cheapest, compare at least 3 of the companies in this list: a national provider, a regional provider, and one telematics program. Most people who do that save anywhere from $300 to $900 per year. Before we wrap up, here's your InsureDrive money-saving tip of the day. Always force refresh your insurance every 6 to 12 months. Insurance companies change pricing constantly, and loyalty rarely pays. The company that was cheap last year may be expensive this year, and vice versa. If you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe to InsureDrive because we bring you real, practical content that actually saves you money, not generic advice. Tap the like button, subscribe for more smart insurance breakdowns, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching InsureDrive, where we help you drive smarter, spend less, and stay protected.